up just
There's a loud minority. What's that, man?
Hey, can I bring this up a little bit? Is that okay? Okay.
Oh, that's a good one right here. It's a good one.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you remember me at all?
No.
Okay. So can I ask a quick synopsis of what you think the prescription is for society today for men? In a short version, what do you think they should do to be successful with women?
To be successful with women,
Yeah.
okay, are we talking about like getting a girl for a long-term relationship, just to get laid? What are we talking about
Well, I
here?
think the only reason should be for a long-term relationship and marriage. I mean, as Jesus Christ founded it. But I'm just curious what your prescription is.
Well, I've talked about this. I think guys have to have certain things in place, right, before they want to get into a long-term relationship. It's 5 things. So I would say 100K per year, 6 figures a year, 6 months to 1 year of savings, be in good shape, have at least 50 partners, right, sexual body count.
All right. And then is that the last one?
And then there's one more, but that's fine. You could go ahead and
Okay.
engage with what I've said so far.
So the reason I asked that is I've watched almost every single podcast you ever did for about a year and a half. So much so that I bought into a lot of the things that you said. And for about 2 years, it led me astray and significantly damaged my personal life, including relationships.
How did it lead you astray?
Well, you told me to go sleep with a bunch of women and date multiple women at the same time, which I did, and it significantly damaged my life. And it wasn't until I actually turned around and started listening to Jesus Christ that I was saved. Now I'm happily married. I have one child now with another one on the way, and I've never felt happier. But I felt...
Congratulations, that's good. That's really good.
Thank you. And I know you're not against that, but my concern is what you're saying to men leads them astray, because I'm a walking example of it. And I think you're significantly damaging people, and especially you're leading people away from morality. Women are not sex objects. Women are created in the image of God, and they are valuable. And they should be treated as such. Why should God give you one of his children if you don't even know how to treat them? So I think...
So a question for you. You said you got out there dating and meeting women and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And then you said that it kind of hurt you.
Yeah.
How did it hurt you specifically? Did you like just start? What happened specifically?
Well, I started warring against my own flesh. It's like trying to fill an empty void.
Mhm.
There's a God-shaped vacuum in the heart of every man that can only be filled by God alone. Anything else you try to fill with that's not going to satisfy it.
Sure.
And I tried to do it with sex.
Yeah. So would it be fair? How'd you meet your wife?
We actually had the #1 dating podcast in North and South Carolina called Who Hurt You Podcast.
Okay.
And I'm also friends with Fresh. I know him very well. I texted him before I came here.
Yeah.
And I know pretty much everyone on your crew. But I was a heavy follower, and you actually inspired me to start the podcast, and I realized what I was doing was wrong.
Yeah. So would it be fair to say that when you went through that experience, you were able to identify characteristics that you probably found as unredeemable and you probably wouldn't want to commit to, right?
In what way?
Well, when you were seeing these women, right, you probably started seeing patterns in how they behave, how they speak, or whatever. Maybe they're not qualified to be a wife. Because the thing is, right?
Well,
whenever-
I don't need that. I have the Bible for that. It tells me what to look for.
Yeah, but the thing is that you were able, and again, you're probably not going to notice it, but when you dated and dealt with all these women, you probably were able to identify characteristics that you were not fond of, or characteristics that would make a woman not a good candidate for a long-term relationship. And I think half the game is figuring out which girls don't qualify for marriage versus which ones that do. And clearly you learned a skill set on how to become attractive and get women, and then you're able to identify the things that you like versus the things that you don't like, and that only comes a lot of times with experience. Now look, if a guy can go ahead and, find a woman as a virgin and be attractive and be able to understand how to navigate that, that's great in modern times. But the reality is a lot of guys don't. And I mean, even in your success story, you had to go through a lot of bad women to be able to identify your current wife as the one. So failures are good. They're good.
Yeah.
So we're gonna break that down real quick. I get what homeboy is saying about Myron ruined him, ruined his life, made him go down a bad path. But at the same time, you went through a lot of women, you listened to Myron's advice, went through a lot of women, seen the good and the bad, met your wife, seen the good, and then you figured out, like, okay, What I learned from these other women, I see that my wife is actually a good woman. I did the I got to really know her, properly vet her, and now I feel like this is the one. I'm gonna lock this down, get out the game, and lock this down. So, and me being a Christian man too, I get what he's saying about God and Jesus. I do, but at the same time, you know, I don't think Myron's advice is bad. I think people just take it the wrong way. But I feel like he took Myron's advice and found his wife through it, through the process. So I don't look at it like Myron put you down a bad path. You know, if anything, he put you down a good path. You went through the women that you needed to go through, right? You probably leveled up as a man, right? You started making some money, started getting your mindset right, started pulling more women as you are on this journey. Woman number one, she cool, red flags. Woman number two, she cool, but red flags. Woman number three, same thing. And then woman number four, wait a minute. I see some green flags. Hold on now. Okay. Family still together. Parents are still together. Don't have no daddy issues. No kids. Huh. Let's see where this one goes. And this is his potential wife, or his wife now. Now, if he went down a bad path and just continue, like he got to hold himself accountable. Because I don't think Myron put him down a bad path. I think he went down a good path. You found your wife through all that by listening to Myron's advice in the beginning. And obviously, you still believe in God and all that. That's cool. But, I don't think, like, I don't think it was anything bad Myron did.
Failures, excuse me, failures in the sense of socioeconomic or maybe even relationship failures could be good, but there's a difference with what I'm saying. I'm saying that we're warned against our soul. Jesus Christ commands us to marry one woman. That's it.
Sure.
And what you were causing me to do was sin against myself. And that's the point I'm trying to get to. It's immoral.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take personal responsibility, bro. Because here's the reality.
No, I do, 100%.
Yeah, so
very publicly, I have in front of over 40,000 people. I've done that.
Yeah, great. But the point I'm trying to make is I teach guys a skill set, right? If I give you a gun and you shoot yourself in the foot, is that my fault? If I taught you how to properly use it, how to disarm it, disassemble it, how to load the magazine in properly, all that. If I give you the skill set, then you shoot yourself in the foot, right? Is that really my fault? No, I just arm you with the skill set. Then you choose what you want to do with it. Now, obviously, you wanted to go on
predatory.
Yeah, see, this guy, he has to take some accountability because, like how Myron said, is I'm giving you a skill set. You do what you want with it. You do what you want with it. At the end of the day, like I said, I give you a loaded gun. You shoot yourself in the foot, but I taught you how to, put the safety on, make sure you know how to use it, go down the proper classes and courses how to use it. You still shoot yourself in the foot? That's not his fault.
You wanted to go toward a sex escapade, which is, I guess, fine. But the reality is I armed you with the tools to become an attractive guy, and you utilize that. You can't come back and get mad
no,
and
you
say,
didn't arm me with that. I became attractive when I followed Jesus. That was it.
Oh, okay. Now.
I get his mindset. I do, but I don't think you could fully blame Myron. And, you know, that's not Myron's fault. That is not his fault. I think if anything, he should be like, hey, Myron, you at least started me on this journey, which led me to my wife, which led me to, get on the path of believing in God and Jesus Christ. Like, if it wasn't for your tools that you gave me, I wouldn't have met my wife and met God and got a relationship with God and been saved and all that. But I don't think he can. I listened to your advice, ran through these girls, found God and then found my wife. Like it still started with Myron, right? I believe in God and I do believe that, you know, he has his ways of blessing people and that's good for that guy. He found a wife and it seems like everything's going good and But I don't think what Myron is teaching, it's not like demonic or, he's just saying in today's dating game with social media and the way women are, this is how men need to potentially move and potentially adjust their offense and defenses against these women to potentially still have the nuclear family at the end of the day. That's it. That's how I look at his advice. Now, if you want to go on a rampage with these girls, cool. As long as you protecting yourself. Now, if you just trying to just get girls all day, cool. That's whatever you want to do with it. But I don't think this guy could come back and blame Myron for everything. Like, you can't blame him for everything, bro. I'm sorry. You gotta have some accountability. Like, hey, it sounds like he kind of, I don't know, maybe while he was running through these girls, he caught something. I don't know. It seemed like something, something happened to where like it made him calm down a little bit. But when it came down to getting in the gym, building your attraction, it seemed like the guy took his advice and he found his wife now. Now he's a family man, which is good. That's what we want. We want that. The nuclear family. Let's see what he got to say.
It's changing the story.
No, I'm not changing any story. It's one thing to be attractive in the sense of gaining sexual partners, but it's a completely different thing to be attractive to someone that wants to marry you and spend their life with you and have kids with you. Those are but it doesn't mean that that's a relationship that produces value for me and my family.
And again, everyone is different, right? For you, it took some time, and you found God, and you shifted. But the reality is, I gave you the skill set, and then you choose what you want to do. That's up to you, and you made that decision, not me. I just taught you what to do,
exactly.
how to do it.
It's on me 100%. I'm not placing blame on you, but what I'm telling you,
just
from someone that
here's
listens
the
to
other
you,
thing,
I'm
too,
trying
that
to
you
let
gotta
know what
understand.
happens when you speak to people and tell them to do these things.
Here's the other thing, too. Like, now you're operating with 20/20 hindsight. You went through it. You experienced
Correct.
it. You
That's
know.
true.
A lot of guys need to get their hand burned sometimes to figure out how things work. Because, let's be honest, men are very stubborn.
Why do they need to do that? If they find a God-fearing woman, they wouldn't do half the stuff you're talking about.
Well, here's the thing. Finding a God-fearing woman in today's day and age is a lot harder said than done, right? So
I did it.
Yeah, it's a lot harder.
And so did everyone in my whole family. So it's not that hard.
See, now if he's went through it, right, and he understands how hard it was, right? Obviously, he listened to Myron's advice for a reason. He probably was struggling with women. That's just what it is. That's mainly what his podcasts are usually about. You're struggling with women. You want to get more women, level up as a man, get your money right, and everything follows, right? But this guy's making it seem like it's just easy for males. It ain't. It's not. I'm a 9 to 5 type of guy, and my coworkers are struggling. Even I still struggle sometimes. It's not easy. To find a God fearing woman, I feel like you still need to go through some women, go on some dates, and really find that woman. But it takes time, it takes experience. You're not going to just go out to the garden and just have your pick of the litter, like, not that one. I'm going to pick this one. This one looks like a God fearing woman. It takes time. And I think the only way you can learn that as a man is if, okay, I'm going to put in the work, get my body right, get my mind right, get everything situated. And when I come to this dating pool, the dating market, okay, cool. This chick wants to hang out. Okay, cool, let's hang out. You ain't got to smash on the first day. You ain't even got to be on that type of time. Just, see what her qualities are. Okay, cool. On to the next one. And of course, eventually you're going to connect with a woman. You're going to start catching bodies. It's just what it is. But I always preach, as long as you're protecting yourself, wearing condoms, so that way you're not catching anything out here. I feel like, okay, if you are going to be catching bodies, at least protect yourself. Don't be out here just freaking raw dogging all these chicks. And then next you know, you catch them. Protect yourself. I agree with that. Always protect yourself. But if you find a cool one on the team, cool, and you're out the game, it's not that easy. I don't agree with that. It's not that easy. If it was that easy, everybody would be married and the divorce rate wouldn't be so high. If it was that easy to get a woman and to tame her just because she's a God-fearing woman. Because sometimes these God-fearing women be the worst ones. Facts. They be the worst ones. See, now what I feel like he's doing is he's kind of like trying to shame Myron when he used to listen to his advice. All he need to do is like, look, Myron, your advice does work, and it took for me to see that I had to like, all right, cool, like I had to stop it here, right? Because it was starting to lead me down a bad path due to my decision making. But your advice does work. It jump started me and it got me on a good path. That's it. All this, well, now he's arguing with him, and it's like, dog, give Myron his props. That's it. He actually helped you out. You are a family man now, which is a good thing. Family man, got kids. You seem like you got a cool wife. Cool, run it. It ain't Myron's fault. It seemed like he got something or something happened to him while he was single. Before his wife, something happened. He ain't saying it, but something happened. Because you just can't. If I could almost tell you this, the day I get married, potentially get married, and I look back at my journey all the way up until my marriage, I'm going to thank whoever put me on this journey, because they the ones who got my mental right, got me in the gym, got me to start making more money, got me to start my YouTube. I'm going to give them their flowers. Facts. There's no way I could just turn around and, you know what, Myron, in the beginning it was fun because I listened to you, but I'm a God-fearing man now. I'm a family man. Like, you're the devil now. And it's like, nah, like, what Myron is saying is not bad. Do I agree with everything? No. But he is on game when it comes to these women. He's on game. Facts. You cannot blame Myron for your decision. He gave you the skill set. You do what you want to do with it. And it's like he hears Myron, but he don't hear him. You know.
Yeah, that's anecdotal from your perspective. But again, you learned the skill set, you were able to find a wife, and I'm happy about that. But you got to take a little bit of accountability here and understand that you basically got a loaded gun and shot yourself in the foot, and you're trying to blame me for it.
No, I'm not blaming you. Like I said, I take
He ain't
accountability.
blaming-
There's a big difference there.
Okay.
But look, nothing against you. Like I said, I've hung out with Fresh 8 or 9 times recently. I love him, and I think your heart is in the right place. But I just wanted to give you from someone that actually listened to what you were saying to do, read your book, and it didn't work. That's all I was trying to do for you.
Well, actually, it did. You didn't notice it yet.
Yeah, it worked.
Okay.
Goofy
You're
dude.
not going to be able to identify your wife
It worked. Look, listen to what he says.
and have been able to find her and figure out what characteristics you like and don't like, right? Unless you went through that.
My wisdom came from
Facts. There's no way you would have found your wife unless you would have read that book and listened to Myron. Facts. Facts. There's no way. I don't know what he's just being naive right now. If you didn't listen to Myron, you wouldn't have found your wife. And what Myron, like how he said, Myron's heart is not in a bad place. We're just tired of seeing men get got by these females nowadays. That's all we're trying to preach. That's it. We just all say it in different ways. That's it. That's it. Whoever my wife will be, because I listen to Myron, I listen to other people that put me on game. Of course, I'm gonna send them email. Hey man, thank you. I'm out the game thanks to you, which is cool. But I think I found a good one. I took your advice. I've been on enough dates. I've been, properly vetting these women. I see it. I see what her flaws are. I see what are negotiable and see what I can work with. I'm out the game. Thank you. Because if it wasn't for your advice and I would have picked the wrong wife, I'd be crying at the end of the day. Crying. Facts. Look at his face. He's like, dude, like, I helped you out. I know homeboy is about to say, well, it's because of God and Jesus Christ. And I do think that plays a part too. But at the same time, God and Jesus, it's like they're not gonna show you everything. Like sometimes you gotta go through it, go through the mud with these women to actually see it. That's how I look at it. I'm a Christian man, and I feel like God was telling me like obviously always protect yourself. But in order to find your potential wife nowadays, this ain't the 70s no more. In order to find your wife nowadays, you need to properly get to know them. You need to look out for this stuff. And I feel like what all these other people are preaching about, Myron and other people I follow, I try to take their advice and apply it to my dating life, along with the Bible, along with what does the Bible also say. There's nothing wrong with, combining the two, you know, um, because times have changed. I feel like we need a 2025 Bible, right? The Old Testament, some things just don't apply. Some things do, but some things don't apply with these women because the times have changed. They've changed. We have to adjust our offense and defense as a man, go into halftime, and try to win the game with these women. That's just what it is nowadays. That's what it is. Most men will be naive about this, but that is what it is. We need to adjust. We're tired of getting got. Look how many celebrities and people in general go through divorces because these women want to be out here partying or out here wanting to be single, throwing away their whole marriage, a house, everything gone just for temporary fun. That's what y'all don't realize. It's real out here. It's real. I've been single for a while now. I'm in the trenches with these women, going on dates, you know, getting to know them, how to text them, knowing when to text them, knowing how to learn all this. And if it wasn't for Myron and the other people I follow, I wouldn't be able to survive this mentally. You know how many YouTube videos I watched of Fresh and Fit and other people, and I came to a point where I don't understand women nowadays. I don't. When I became single, I didn't understand women. How does this work now? Now, thank God, you know, I've always been able to pull women all my life. I never really had an issue. Yeah, I might have been shy here and there, but I always was able to kind of pull them. But once I really started listening to these guys and like, dang, like I would watch a video, go on a date, and kind of come back to the house like, dang, like they were kind of right about that. I seen it. I seen it with my own eyes. Now it'd be different if, you know, everything they talked about and everything they preach about, man, it doesn't work. I tried it and it doesn't work. I've tried it, still trying it. And I will say about everything they preach, about 90% is true. About 90, from what I've seen, 90% is true. And I think the other 10% I need to learn is if I start making some real money, then I'll be able to really see everything. But so far, everything they are saying is true. The way these women are moving nowadays, it's true. I cannot knock them on that. And I like to take their advice, see if it's true, see what's not true. And I'll obviously still got the Bible on one side and comparing things. And because I'm not about to get my heart broken again, it's not going to happen. Got it broken once, went through the heartbreak, and you have to learn from that. The only way you're going to learn is you're not going to learn, to me, just by reading the Bible all day and believe that's going to work. You need to get in these trenches with these women and really get to know them nowadays. Times have changed. Maybe this might have worked in the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, but in this era now, 2025, 2026, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And us men, we need guys like Myron and other people. This is why I started doing it. I got tired of seeing my coworkers just going through breakups and divorce, ignoring the red flags. And half of them are married. So I try to come in and help them out, give them my experience, my take on things, and kind of what to look out for. And it's like, I'm not trying to lead you down a wrong path, but nowadays, this is what it is. This is what it is.
The Bible, not you, but I appreciate it.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Look at them clapping for me.
Well, it looks like they're trying to shut us down, guys.
So, guys, that's pretty much the video for today. I know I did a couple takes on this video, but I'm gonna do more of these videos. I think they're very interesting, especially if I could find the ones that kind of pertain to female nature in today's dating time. But at the end of the day, fellas, this is what it is. This is the game. If you guys do not adjust, you will get left behind. You're gonna be crying in the corner, thinking like, my life is over. I picked the wrong one. Every man's downfall is the woman he chooses. Facts. Every man's downfall. And if you ain't on game, you're gonna get left behind. And I always like to debate other men. Obviously everybody's not gonna agree with me, which is fine. But if there's one thing I've seen while being single is these women are a different breed nowadays. And I feel like I've learned how to stand out. I've learned how to adapt to their ways, whether it's texting, whether it's whatever. I had to learn that. I had to learn how to text them again. And if it wasn't for Myron and all these other guys, I'd be looking like a goofy. Double texting, just bugging them. But you have to learn this. Like, you have to literally apply it and learn it. Because if it's so easy nowadays for men to, pull girls or attract them, then why are men struggling? Why isn't the marriage rate up high? Why is that? Yeah, it might have worked for a homeboy. It might have worked for him. But it's not working for everybody. That's what Myron's trying to tell him. But we're going to do more of these videos, guys. That's the video for today. I think it was another good one. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. And also, if you want one-on-one coaching calls, or maybe you have questions to ask me about my dating life, go ahead, hit me up. Put in the comments, C-Boy or Charlie Boy. Put in the comments and I'll reach out to you. It's your boy, Charlie Boy. We out.